Welcome! Today I'll show you how I prepare my next D&D session with Infinite Realms, including sound, effects, grid and fog of war. Infinite Realms is a new type of 3D tabletop projection software with support for 3D maps. My name is Danny, let's do this! When the software finds a second display, Infinite Realms asks if it should be activated. I decline this now because I only want to prepare the maps and there's no projector connected, only a normal display. First, I start a new scenario, a collection of one or more battle maps. I choose Legacy Map, which means a standard image or video map that will be projected onto the table by the app later. Infinite Realms initially starts with a neutral background in this mode, but via the Map and Scenario menu, hotkey M, I can swap it for an image or video. First, I want to add a map of the area where the adventure is set. I bought Rime of the Frostmaiden a few days ago through D&D Beyond and downloaded the according map of Icewind Dale. I enlarged the map to the maximum so that details can be seen better. The image is suitably high resolution. Then I navigate with WASD or arrow keys to the southeast. There's the scale. For traveling, the hex grid is more practical, so I change it in the Fog of War and Grid menu, hotkey F. I make it a little stronger. Enlarge it to the scale of 1 mile, and then move it a little more. What is impractical with this enlargement is that the overview is lost. However, it is always possible to zoom out and choose the right scale for each situation. I don't want to tell my players too much about the area at the beginning. Their characters don't have a map yet, so I want to limit the view to what they've been able to see with their own eyes so far. To do this, I turn on the Fog of War and cut out the areas that are already known to the group. For this, I have two tools at my disposal. One is the Box Select tool, which allows me to simply draw a rectangle to be uncovered with the left mouse button. With the right button, I could select the corresponding rectangle to cover up again. Escape cancels. By the way, the menu can be opened and closed with the hotkey Tab. The other tool is the Fog Brush. Here I can adjust the size with the mouse wheel or via the menu, and then uncover with the left mouse button or cover again with the right. With the hotkey V, I now change to the Volume and Sound menu. I want to give the campaign a soundtrack, and therefore choose a suitable music title for the overview map. The album You Tune is perfect for the Nordic setting, and the track Ancient Gods underlines the mood perfectly. But we don't just want an overview map on the table. We also want atmospheric, dynamic battle maps. I therefore switch to the Map and Scenario menu and add another map to the scenario. I've been a patron at Dynamic Dungeons for a long time and love his video maps dearly. Among other things, he has a large selection of winter maps in his catalog, some of which I've already picked out for my campaign. For a character's introduction scene, I picked this map with ice floes on the sea. The character has been shipwrecked and must make his way across the sea of moving ice to Icewind Dale. I'll probably need the grid, since I'm planning a small encounter. I want it to be a bit more inconspicuous, so I color it blue first and then make it a bit more transparent. The weather could be a bit more wintry, so I go to the Time and Weather tab, hotkey T, and select Light Snow in the drop-down. Some wind is welcome to swirl the snowflakes, and at the sea, of course, it comes from the west. I don't like the soundstage yet. I would like it to be a bit more maritime, despite the cold. In the ocean category, there's just the right thing, waves and seagulls. I also adjust the volume of the individual tracks, like this. The scene is ready. Of course, that's not all. Infinite Realms can do so much more. Our included maps are 3D, which offers much more possibilities regarding light, weather and physics. The name of this map is Icelandic and means something like Spider Valley or Spider Canyon, inspired by the spun-in dead trees in the northeast side and the large canyon that dominates the map. Preset on this map is cold mountain weather, but I want a warm summer or fall evening scene for another character introduction. So I'll have to adjust some things. Luckily, that's possible. First I turn off the snow. I choose clear sky as the weather profile. Then I change the time to late afternoon, before sunset, for nice long shadows. So that it will not get too dark, I pull up the exposure a bit. The map has lots of space and points of interest. It's almost 40 times the size of the Iceflow video map we saw earlier. This is the scale of all Infinite Realms maps, so they can be used in many ways, as battle maps and zoomed out as overview maps in role-playing games, or as smaller scale maps for strategic wargames. But back to our scene. For the character introduction I need this small cabin in the woods, in the east of the map. As I said before, it's supposed to be a warm summer evening, a throwback to happier times. First, I adjust the sound. The current track is the same as on my overview map and will not perfectly match my plan. I choose a track in similar style that fits better. Also, I want to emphasize the evening mood, so I need cricket chirps. I find them in the nature category. However, the crickets are a bit too loud for me. Let's move on to the light. The cold look from the preset doesn't fit at all. We need something that underlines the warm evening mood. I find it in the film looks. This already looks quite good, but I want it to be a bit more autumnal, so pull the hue a bit more towards red-brown. A little more saturation, brightness and contrast to emphasize the direct sunlight. Gamma is still a bit high, which makes the image a bit milky. So we'll adjust that down. Last but not least, we want to emphasize the evening sun and the warmth. For this, we'll use the bloom effect. It doesn't need to be very strong for our purposes, but we need to raise the threshold significantly so that we can actually see some of it in the relatively dark scene. Perfect? Or do you have any ideas on how to make the scene even better? Feel free to leave a comment. Okay, let's quickly save the scenario so we have it ready for the weekend session. To do this, we'll enter a catchy name for the scenario and a screenshot will be taken automatically. Quickly check if it's in the list. It is. Well, that's it for this little presentation on how to use Infinite Realms to quickly and easily prepare impressive scenes for the next game session. I hope you liked it. Maybe leave a like, or even better, share the video with your friends who share your hobby. You can find more information on our website, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and now on Reddit. Links in the description. Have a good time and if you like, see you in the next video.